My wife went out last night and didn't come home until this morning. This is horrible. I'm furious right now, but I'm also depressed. I know what I have to do. It's killing me that I have to do it though. It's fresh and it hurts a lot. My wife didn't come home last night. She went out with a couple of girlfriends, which is normal for her. She's usually back around 2 a.m. on these nights, so I waited up. At 2:30, I called to check in. She answered and I could hear people in the background. She told me they went to a party but were leaving in a couple of minutes. She wasn't home by 3, so I texted. It delivered, but no reply. 4 a.m., I called again. It ran a couple of times before she sent me a voicemail. My wife finally came stumbling through the door at 6:47 a.m. this morning. I know the exact time because I was worried. She was wearing a dress she didn't leave the house in, with mesh leggings I've never seen either. The leggings had clearly been torn and her makeup was smudged. Oh, okay. Alarm bells a little bit. Okay, 2 things. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? My heart sank when I saw her. My immediate worry was that she had been A-worded. She only shook her head no when I asked her that. I asked her what she had been doing. She only said I knew what she'd been doing and kind of confirmed what the voice in the back of my head had been screaming since she walked in. My wife cheated on me last night. I asked her who it was. She shrugged almost casually and said it was somebody they met at the club. Okay, interesting. It's interesting that she's wearing a different dress. Anybody else's mind kind of go to, when you like wanted to wear like a little outfit to school, but you couldn't have your parents like seeing you in that outfit? So you'd like change when you got to school? Just me? Okay. I feel like that's what happened with her. I feel like that shows that it was like premeditated, honestly. Unless she put on someone else's dress. She went back to his house and hooked up with him, then Ubered home. She then said she didn't want to fight and just wanted to sleep. So that's what she did. I don't really feel like she has the right to dictate any of this. She's still asleep now and didn't even take a shower before passing out. Suffice to say, our relationship is over. We don't have any kids and we rent, so it shouldn't be an extremely complicated process. I keep trying to reason myself out of it, pretending there might be something to salvage here. I always maintain that cheating would be a red line for me, though. I think I need to stick to that now. She doesn't even seem like sorry. She's like, oh, yes. Yeah, I did. I'm just going to go to bed now, though. Bye. Bye. Okay. All right. Small update. 1 day later. Things have happened. I'm no longer at home. I left. I wasn't able to get the day off work, so I'm writing this on my lunch. It's been a struggle keeping myself together. I had to sneak off to the bathroom twice to cry. Rough, dude. I'm sorry to hear. I'll post something more detailed later on because holy there's a lot. I'm exhausted. I've only slept 4 hours total since this happened. Okay, on to the next update. I wasn't able to get the day off work yesterday because my boss sucks. I was a complete mess at work yesterday though, so I was allowed to take the rest of the week off as a vacation, thankfully. I think I went through all stages of grief while my soon-to-be ex was sleeping. I wasn't expecting my post to get any attention at all. I just figured I needed to try to talk to someone about it because I was not in a good headspace. I made the post in the morning and by noon she was still conked out in the bedroom. The fact that she was able to sleep through all of that, that is insulting. That's even worse than cheating. Like, how can you live with yourself, let alone have a good night's sleep? I had processed things a bit more and I had a rough plan in my head that I was starting to set in motion. I made a short list of questions I wanted answers to, gathered my important documents, laptop, etc. Then I went into the bedroom and started packing myself a suitcase. I know a lot of folks wanted me to kick her out. I did consider it, but I'm honestly not overly attached to this place. We just rent, and I'm in a lucky enough situation to be able to say that paying half the rent for a few months isn't going to financially end me. It'll sting a little bit, I won't lie, but I'll make it. And I feel like being around this place is only going to remind me of her anyway. I need to be looking forward, not back. She ended up waking up about halfway through me packing my suitcase. There was momentary confusion as she looked around the room and then she started bawling. Maybe this is awful of me, but I didn't bother comforting her. Why? You let her take a nap. Now you have to comfort her? No. I told her I had the screenshots of her Uber and text messages from her phone, and plus her confirmation was enough that things between us were completely done. She didn't answer me and just cried louder. I debated trying to continue the conversation, but I decided to just pack the rest of my suitcase and head back out to the living room until she came out. When she finally left the bedroom, she sat next to me on the couch and asked if we could talk things through. I told her as calmly as possible that wasn't how things were going to work. I was going to ask questions. I wanted honest answers. She told me she'd be honest, so I proceeded. My voice was shaking the entire time. It was taking me everything to hold it together, but I kept going. So here are the questions. Was this the first time she'd cheated? She started crying before she answered that and told me no. She cheated on me multiple times over the course of our relationship. That's why the whole, oh, I'm going to put on a different outfit thing, you know, when she left the house, that to me screams premeditated. I love how I'm talking about it like it's murder. It kind of is. Like, you murdered the relationship. It was, and I'm going to use her words exactly here, just spicy time, a way for me to let off steam. None of it ever meant anything. Go to the gym, babes. Go punch a bag. Take up boxing. Let off steam in a way that there's no victims. I wrote a comment shortly after making my post that all the love couldn't just fade away in one swoop. Well, it can. It hit me right then that I wasn't dealing with my wife. The person I was married to literally wasn't in the room. This was someone different. She refused to tell me exactly how many times she cheated, just more than last night. Had she used protection? No hesitation from her before she nodded her head. She seemed surprised I'd even ask. I'm still going to get tested just to be safe. Were her friends also cheating on their spouses? Yes and no. Oh God, so they all went out together. Oh God, and they probably all knew each other were doing it. Oh man. I tried to get her to tell me which of her friends were cheating so I could get in contact with their spouses. She probably should have, because her refusal led me to be messaging pretty much the romantic partner of every one of their girlfriends I could find on social media. There are a couple I don't know or couldn't find, but I did my part. Why did she do it? This was the answer that gutted me the most. I'm going to use her exact words again.
I need to have variety.
Variety? This ain't a corner store, honey. I told her it's not like our sex life is dull. She clarified it's not the same as something new. Okay. I didn't even have a response to that one. I expected something about me working too much or not supporting her emotionally. Nope. She just liked other guys because she felt like it and wanted to have some fun. When I didn't respond, she started asking me about counseling and therapy. I reiterated that our relationship was over, I would be leaving. What she did next disgusted me. My ex actually tried to get intimate with me. She put her hands on me and tried to take off my clothes. I feel like I wanted to vomit and I pushed her away after a couple of seconds. She kept telling me she would figure out a way to fix it, that we would work through it together. Ooh, she got problems, honey. I told her there was no way and she started bawling again. She went to the bathroom and locked herself inside. I was sick of everything at that point. I called her mother, told her what was going on, the full story, the cheating, the questions, and the fact that I was leaving. I've always had a good relationship with my ex's parents. They both decided to drive to town, which is about an hour for them. Once I knew someone was on the way, I grabbed my things and left. Her waterworks in the bathroom were just annoying me because it felt hollow to me, especially given the answers to my questions. I ended up packing another bag before I left and took all the things I could think of that I felt sentimental attachment to with me. I found a parking lot and sat in my car until I was able to get in contact with a buddy for a place to crash. I tried to take a nap, but I was running on way too much adrenaline. I knew when her parents had made it to the apartment because she started calling me. When I didn't answer, she started texting me. She'd gone from sad and crying to furious. Apparently, I'm a freaking piece of for telling her mom everything. Whoops. I'm not sorry. What did she think was going to happen? Oh no, you hear that? It's the consequences of your actions. I've received roughly 100 texts from her since leaving. They range from name calling all the way to begging me to come back, to sending me pictures of food she ate for some reason. I haven't responded to any of them. I feel like I said my piece before leaving. So that's where I'm at right now. We didn't have joint finances, so that part was easy. I canceled all the subscriptions that go to my credit card just to be sure, changed all my passwords. I'm crashing on a friend's couch for the next bit, but I've got some feelers out for some short-term rental places until I can find something more permanent. I have feelers out for a divorce attorney too. A coworker of mine had a recommendation, so barring something better, I'll probably go with them. There is one final update. Hey folks, I'm happy, I guess. To say this will be the final update to what has been probably the most difficult chapter of my life. I felt an immense amount of support from the community here from my initial 2 posts, so I wanted to give a short update. Bottom line, my ex and I both signed the final papers to our divorce this week. Yay! It feels kind of surreal to think about that still. About 2 weeks into everything, she got resistant. I cut her off entirely and she refused to return my attorney's calls for a little while. Eventually, things got back on track. As for the infidelity itself, I don't have a ton more details to share with you. We did a short mediation, and by that time, I didn't feel there was any remorse on her end. I mean, I could tell that there was no remorse because, she literally was able to sleep after telling you that she cheated on you. I've talked about that a lot with my therapist. I'm in therapy, by the way. It still hurts that someone who I thought loved me could have apparently cared about me so little, but I'm working through it. That's really all I've got to share. Thanks again, everybody, for your advice and support. I really wanted a happy ending, and we got one.